Fox Sports.
We are Blackmore. We are LA.
It's time for Dodger Baseball. Live from Dodger Stadium, Prime Ticket presents the Dodgers as they take on the San Francisco Giants. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Monday evening to you, wherever you may be. Giants and Dodgers in a three-game series, and the final three of the year. Giants hold an edge. They've won 9 of 15, winning 5 of 9 up there, and 4 of 6 down here. On the mound for San Francisco, Matt Cain, 16-game winner. Proud possessor of a perfect game against Houston in June. He is 4-8 against the Dodgers, but he was 0-7 in his early years. Now he is 4-1. Aaron Harang with a record of 10-10. He'll be on the mound for the Dodgers with a lifetime mark of 7-7. As you know, the magic number is 2, so pull up a chair. We'll have the ball game and a whole lot more coming up right after this. Hyundai. Logic and emotion agree. The Hyundai Sonata is amazing. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network, AT&T Rethink Possible. And by CarMax. Start the search for your next car at CarMax.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. Moments away from first pitch. Dodgers-Giants, the race for the second wild card. Magic number for the Cardinals is 2. Dodgers 2 back right now. St. Louis leading Cincinnati 4-1. That game top of the 7th. So hopefully Dodgers can get a little help. If St. Louis hangs on to win and the Dodgers lose tonight, that's it. Dodgers do not make the playoffs. But if they win, I mean, it just makes it's the biggest series of the year, and it makes the pitching matchups so crucial.
Yeah, and I think that, the question you asked me in the pregame show about, how important is it for the Dodgers to win? Obviously, it's paramount only because, if that game ends up in St. Louis the way it is right now, you must win every game now. Once you lose, it's all over. The Dodgers are hanging on by a thread. You look at the pitching matchups. Kane's the toughest one. Zito's had an outstanding year, but it's still Barry Zito, a guy you can get to. Kane's the guy that you really have to beat tonight, and then move on to the next two games. Donnie talked about playing it one game at a time. It's the oldest cliche in the book. You have to win tonight in order to get to tomorrow night.
Yeah, you're right. If that one stays the same in St. Louis, but then you need Cardinals to lose 2 in a row and the Dodgers sweep, that would guarantee a Thursday playoff game here at Dodger Stadium.
I bet the Dodgers have lost, I bet the St. Louis Cardinals have lost 2 games in a row. More than a few times this year.
It's happened.
Yep.
That's a fact. So hopefully that will happen again. When we come back, big game. First game of the series. Giants-Dodgers. Vin with the call next.
In the box by San Manuel. Play $250,000 Sports Watch football at San Manuel. It's free to play. And by Kettle One. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant good evening to you, wherever you may be. Dodgers at home, the final 3 games of the season, so they finish up on a high night, going up against the San Francisco Giants. Bruce Bochy's club has beaten the Dodgers 9-15. They won 5 of 9 in their house, and they have won 4 of the 6 played here at Dodger Stadium. For Bochy, of course, they have a huge date for the postseason. The Dodgers are hanging by a thread. The thread is the Cincinnati Cardinal game in progress right now. They're in the top of the 7th inning, and the Cardinals are leading the Reds 1-0. Reds actually had a 1-0 lead, and the left-hander Jaime Garcia hit a home run for the Cardinals against Bronson Arroyo, who's pretty famous for giving up home runs. And then later on, Alan Craig doubled, Yadier Molina knocked him in, and before you know it, they're out in front 4-1. So should the Cardinals win, the Dodgers must win tonight, or they would be eliminated. We'll take a look now at the visiting Giant lineup. Angel Pagan leads off in center field. He'll be followed by Marco Scutaro at second, Pablo Sandoval at third, Buster Posey behind the plate. Hunter Pence in right, Brandon Belt at first, Xavier Nady in left, Brandon Crawford at short, and Matt Cain the pitcher. On the mound for the Dodgers, Aaron Harang. He is 10-10. He is 7-7 against the Giants, but he is 5-1 against the Giants away from AT&T Park. And in his last 7 starts against them, he's 4-1 with an ERA of 2. and he's going to be right up against a tough hombre, Angel Pagan, who just wore the Dodgers out in August when the Giants were here. And the first pitch, high, ball one. In a 3-game series, Pagan went 2 for 4 and scored 2, 3 for 5 and scored 1, 2 for 4 and scored 3. The 1-0 pitch is fouled back, and the count 1-1. So all told, he had 7 hits, and he scored 6 runs. He also had a stolen base, and he handled everything that would hit his way. Otherwise, Angel Pagan didn't do a darn thing. He's from Puerto Rico, a very good player. Switch hitter, batting left-handed. Harang delivers, and as a towering fly ball to left field, it appears playable. Victorino just inside the foul line makes the catch, and we have one away. An update in the top of the 7th inning. The Reds have scored a run, so the Cardinals lead 4-2. Cincinnati still at bat in the 7th inning. We'll watch that carefully for you all night. So one away, and now Marco Scutaro, and you can put the date right down when Marco Scutaro was acquired, the 27th of July. Since that day, he has hit .361 for the Giants. What an acquisition. He's hitting .305 overall. 7 home runs, 71 runs batted in. Another thing about putting your finger on the date, you can also put your finger on the date August 15th. The 1-0 pitch is low, ball 2. On August the 15th, you look at the two clubs. The Giants went 29-13, and the Dodgers 20-22. The next pitch is strike. 2-1 the count to Marco Scutaro. So the Giants really took off the 28th of July, and then again on August the 15th. And August the 15th is when the Dodgers hit the skids. And remember, they were tied back on that date. So for Bruce Bochy, everybody felt sorry for him when they lost Melky Cabrera. The 3-1 pitch is low, ball 4. So Scutaro draws the walk, and the batter will be Pablo Sandoval. So Aaron Harang working against the Panda, and in looking at Aaron Harang and his work against the various Giants, Sandoval is hitting .200, just 4 for 20 against him. 12 home runs. He had been a big home run hitter, averaging 20 each of the last 3 years. Sandoval hitting .286. Another switch hitter, batting left-handed. Sandoval, with his 12 home runs, 10 left-handed, and he takes off the plate. So if he indeed would be a natural right-hander, he's hit only 2 from that side. But remember, he's ambidextrous. He's not only a switch hitter, he throws and for long distances with either hand. Sandoval usually doesn't hang around the plate very long. The 1-0 pitch on the way, swung on, popped up, left side. It will be Luis Cruz, and Cruz makes the catch. So Sandoval, true to his record, he's out of there in 2 pitches. And here is Buster Posey. If you think that Matt Kemp is the #1 guy with the Dodgers, here is the #1 guy for the Giants in Buster Posey. And we'll give you one story about Posey to give you just a slight idea of what kind of a man he is as what kind of a player. Friday night, he was in the game catching Ryan Vogelsong. But before the game, he suffered from food poisoning. Buster waiting, right-hand batter, throw goes to first. Well, what happens with food poisoning? You spend some time in the bathroom, but he insisted on playing. Second inning, he was catching Ryan Vogelsong, and Ryan Vogelsong bounced a curveball on home plate, and it came up, and he hit Posey right in the Adam's apple. He takes a strike, and the count 0-1. He could barely whisper. In fact, Vogelsong said, I could see the stitches of the ball on Posey's Adam's apple. And despite it was really just an exhibition game for them, he not only didn't come out, he played the 9, had a double and a triple. Strike one, pitch on the way is swung on, a drive to left. Victorino going back. It's over his head, off the wall. Here comes Scudero around third. Ramirez throw to the plate is not in time, and the Giants are on the board 1-0 on a double by Buster Posey. Boy, he is something. For Posey, he has 39 doubles, a triple, and 23 home runs. Got a breaking ball up, and he just hit it over Victorino's head. So Buster Posey gives the Giants an immediate 1-0 lead with a long double, and the batter now is Hunter Pence. Hunter Pence hitting .257, 24 home runs, 104 runs batted in. Another good acquisition came over from the Phillies the end of July. Pence, when you look at his numbers, you're always surprised that he actually chokes up on the bat. And the pitch to Hunter is high and inside, ball one, 1-0. Hunter Pence has homered in each of the last 2 games. He had a game-winning 9th inning home run on Sunday. Pence 45 RBIs since he joined the Giants back on August 1. He needs 9 hits to have 1,000 in his career. So the 1-0 pitch on the way to Hunter Pence, taken in there for a strike, and the count 1-1. So the Giants get Buster Posey in the lineup, and Buster Posey drives in Marco Scudero, and the Giants lead 1-0. Hunter Pence, 6'4", out of the University of Texas Arlington, swings, fouls it back, and a 1-2 count. Hunter had an older brother, Howie, who pitched in the Padre organization for a couple of years. He was a second-round pick by the Astros. Then, after spending 6 years in Houston, he went to Philadelphia for 2, and here he is with the Giants, and another solid acquisition. The 1-2 pitch on the way. Harang set at the belt, looks back at second. Now the big right-hander delivers, and it is swung on and missed, and down goes Pence. However, the Giants get a run. Buster Posey doubles in Scudero, and at the end of half an inning, 1-0 San Francisco. Board as Posey doubles in Scudero. Here's the Dodger lineup. Mark Ellis at second base, and Andre Ethier in right. Matt Kemp in center, and Adrian Gonzalez at first. Hanley Ramirez, the shortstop. Shane Victorino in left field. Luis Cruz at third. A.J. Ellis behind the plate. Aaron Harang on the mound. On the mound for the Giants, Matt Cain. He'll be 28 years old in October, out of Dothan, Alabama, lives in Colliersville, Tennessee. went to Houston High School in Tennessee, and a 16-game winner, 16-5. Had that perfecto against Houston in the middle of June. And when he pitches, the Giants usually win. The Giants are 21-10 in the games that Matt Cain starts. And he'll be facing Mark Ellis, Andre Ethier, and then Matt Kemp. And the first pitch in for a strike, and the count 0-1. They're going to the bottom of the 7th inning in St. Louis. Cardinals 4, Reds 2. Strike one pitch on the way to Ellis, foul back, 0-2. Mark hitting .260, 7 home runs, 31 runs batted in, and hitting .326 against the Giants this year. No balls, 2 strikes. Cain comes back with a breaking ball hit to short. Crawford stumbles, falls down, gets up, and throws him out. So Brandon Crawford took a header fielding a ground ball, but he was still able to make his play.
Number 16, Andre.
So one away. Brandon Crawford, who went to school at UCLA, just suddenly losing his footing, went down to his knees and sprawled, and was still able to get up and nail Ellis. So one away, and here's Andre Ethier. Andre Ethier, one of the few guys who can say, not that he would, I wear out Matt Cain. He's hitting .455 against Cain. He has 25 hits. And the first pitch to Andre in for a strike, and the count 0-1. Dodgers have only been so-so. They've only been so-so really since the middle of August. Strike one pitch on the way, and that's a little low, 1-1. So they finished up September 14-12. Matt Cain, if you look at his lifetime record, 4-8, you think, oh, the Dodgers wear him out. Just the other way around. When he first started, he was 0-7, but he's 4-1 now that he's established. Line drive right at Crawford. So Ethier hitting some balls on the button, but they're not falling. And we have 2 out, first inning, and Matt Kemp coming up. Just as the Giants are led by Posey, as we mentioned, Dodgers certainly look to Matt, and in his last 5 games, hitting .550, 4 home runs, 9 runs batted in. So Matt trying to lead the Dodgers yet again. Checks in with 2 out, bases empty, 1-0 Giants. Cain turns on the rubber, and the pitch to Matt way off the plate, ball 1. By the way, we understand that Matt Cain is on a pitch count. You know, they're getting ready for postseason. So 75 pitches at the most. 1 ball and no strikes to Matt Kemp. Cain back with a good fastball swung on and missed. 1-1 to count. If you look at Matt Cain, we told you he's a winner, and so are the Giants. In his starts, the Giants have won 21. He is a workhorse. He averages just a hair below 7 innings a start. A chopper foul outside of third down the line, 1-2. One thing the league has found, out of desperation, I think, you can bunt for base hits against Matt Cain. So if we see somebody like Victorino trying to dump a bunt, you'll understand. There have been 10 bunt hits allowed against Cain. He would be number 1 in the league suffering that. Another thing, you can run on him a bit. 18 stolen bases against him. Cain misses just inside. No sign from the plate umpire, Jerry Lane, and the Giants just walked off the field. Wow. Jerry, who is pretty slow and deliberate in calling. Let's see if he did let anybody know. Come on, Jerry. Come on, Jerry. Oh, your hand's in front of your chest. He's too big a man for us to see that. And it's 1-0 Giants. Giants lead 1-0. A walk to Scutero and a 2-out double by Buster Posey. So Aaron Harang burned already. He'll be facing Belt, Nady, and Crawford. The first pitch pulled foul outside of first down the line for Brandon, who's hitting .276, 7 home runs, 56 runs batted in. Big fella, 6'5", about 220, out of the University of Texas. Left-hand batter. Harang ready, comes right back over the top and misses inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. So you have Belt at 6'5", Harang at 6'7", the opening act here in inning number 2. The 1-1 pitch coming up. Harang ready, back with a pitch fouled off. 1-2 to Brandon Belt. Belt over the last 2 months has combined to hit .333. I mean, he's just suddenly unstoppable. 3 home runs, 23 RBIs. In his first 4 months, he was hitting in the 230s. And the last 2 months, wow. 1-2 the count to Brandon. Here comes Harang, and the pitch foul back again. Fastball at 91. Brandon Belt, waiting for Harang, dominated in high school as a senior. He threw no hitters in the district clincher in the opening round of the playoffs. They clocked his fastball at 93. He takes high, 2-2. He committed to Texas as a high school senior, rejected offers from the Red Sox to sign him, passed up the Braves, and then waited and finally got the call from the Giants. The next pitch misses, ball 3. So Brandon Belt, who's waited a while for his chance, hitting back of him is Xavier Nady. 3-2 the count to Belt. Harang burned by the walk he gave up in the first inning, and his pitch is very high, ball 4. So Brandon Belt draws the second walk from Aaron. Nady, Crawford, and Kane coming up. Xavier Nady was a marvelous young player, and I don't mean to put him down talking in the past tense, but Nady was as good looking a player, I think, as you've seen in a long time when he first came up. But now in 11 years, he's been with 8 different teams, and for a lot of reasons. Right-hand batter hitting just 196 and takes a strike. First of all, he's had 2 Tommy John surgeries. That's right, he's an outfielder, and he's had 2. He had one in 2001. He had another in 2009. He was beamed, hit hard in the head in 2007, though he missed a few games with the effects of a concussion. Strike 1 pitch, and that's taken off the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. So you wonder why such a promising player never quite did what everybody thought he would do. That's why. Went to school at the University of California, Berkeley. Xavier waiting. Belt at first, nobody out. Second inning, Giants lead 1-0. Harang at the belt. Aaron a look and throws over to first. For Xavier Nady, one other thing about him, he was signed late in the year 2000, reported directly to the Padres, and on September 30th made his debut against the Dodgers. 1-1 pitch, swung on and missed. 1-2 to Xavier. What kind of a debut did he have? Well, he made his debut as a pinch hitter, got a base hit off Masaoka, and later scored a run. So for Xavier, he became the 20th player to go directly to the big league since the draft was instituted in 1965. 1-2 pitch on the way, low and away, ball 2. 2-2 the count. Xavier, 2-time All-American, 3-time All-Pac-10. He has belted first, held on by Gonzalez. Second inning, 1-0 Giants. Nobody out. Harang a long look in, then straightens up. Aaron ready, and the 2-2 pitch coming up. Nady fouls it away, though still there. Waiting on deck behind him, Brandon Crawford. So Harang trying to get over the 500 mark. He is 10-10 with the league and 7-7 lifetime against the Giants. Nady waiting. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Harang again ready, and another throw over to first. Watching Belt. Belt has stolen 11 out of 13. So he's well worth a look. Nady out of the box, now back in again. Xavier had a pinch hit home run yesterday. That's number 4. 2-2 pitch coming up. Nady, it's a ground ball to short. Ramirez stumbles but feeds Ellis, who turns it to Gonzalez. So Hanley Ramirez fell to his knees as he shoveled the ball to Mark Ellis, but they had plenty of time. And Ellis turns it, avoids the sliding Belt, and we have 2 down. 4-6-3, and that'll bring up Brandon Crawford. We ought to take a look at that shortstop area. Of course, they were in 2 different areas. Crawford was more to the hole when he fielded the ground ball and then fell down. That was on the ground ball hit by Ellis. Now, Hanley Ramirez falls down while turning a double play. Brandon Crawford hitting .248, the pride of UCLA. Harang into the windup. Here he comes off speed and gets a strike, and the count 0-1. Brandon Crawford, another fellow who has certainly improved with the bat. He's hit .299 for the last 42 games. Left-hand hitter takes on the corner, and it's an 0-2 count. No balls and 2 strikes. You have to really watch Jerry Lane. He umpires to his own drummer. Now the strike 2 pitch on the way, taken inside, ball 1. 1-2 the count. Brandon Crawford with Matt Cain behind him. Second inning, 1-0 Giants. If you just joined us, Scutaro walked, and with 2 out, Buster Posey doubled him home. 1-2 pitch in on the hands and fouled away. It just hit the bat. He didn't swing. And still 1-2 to Brandon Crawford. Crawford, who stumbled and fell down in the first inning, had to be wondering what's going on. In 74 previous games, Crawford made only 3 errors, and he's made 3 errors in his last 3 games. The 1-2 pitch, Brandon swings, hits it in the air, playable. Kemp going over to right center to make the catch, and it's an inning that goes quickly thanks to the double play. And at the end of an inning and a half, Giants 1, Dodgers 0. Favor of the Giants, Matt Cain and Aaron Harang. Tomorrow night, Barry Zito and Chris Capuano. And then at least scheduled for Wednesday, Ryan Vogelsong and Clayton Kershaw. One of the things the league has found out about Matt Cain is how successful and how tough he is if he gets 2 strikes on you. Well, one fellow who has done pretty well against him will be Adrian Gonzalez. Gonzalez hitting .305 against Cain over the years. But to illustrate the point, if he gets 2 strikes on the hitter, he is really in command. So we'll see with Gonzalez. Will be followed by Ramirez and then Victorino. And the first pitch in for a strike, 0-1. Gonzalez batting .291, 3 home runs, 21 runs batted in, has a 12-game hitting streak. And the next pitch is a shot up the middle. He is now hit in 13 straight. So Gonzalez comes up with his 19th base hit against Matt Cain. And the batter will be Hanley Ramirez. Just to complete the point on Matt Cain, if he gets 2 strikes on the hitter, if it's 0-2, the average is 127. 1-2, 122. 2-2, less than 100, 0.99. And if he goes 3-2 with you, there's still the league's hitting 122. So 2 strikes with Cain, and you're hardly able. Runner at first, the tying run, Hanley Ramirez, and Matt Cain's first pitch is low and inside, ball 1, 1-0. Hanley hitting .256, 24 home runs, 92 runs batted in. You go back 4 years ago, he hit 33. Hanley with Victorino on deck. Gonzalez doesn't usually do any running, the pitch off the plate. Although yesterday it had to be a hit and run play. They were running Gonzalez, and Luis Cruz hit a line drive home run into the Dodger bullpen. But basically the point is, if Gonzalez is going, it's part of a play. The next pitch to Hanley, that's in there for a strike, and the count 2-1. Giants 1, Dodgers nothing, bottom of the 8th inning. We'll check on Cincinnati and St. Louis. Still 4-2, bottom of the 8th. That was the game where Bronson Arroyo, leading 1-0, gave up a home run to the opposing pitcher, Jaime Garcia. The 2-1 pitch coming up, and that's popped in the air, foul behind the plate. Posey coming back, but he's on the other side of the screen, and the ball is back in about 5 rows. 2-2 to count. Hanley trying to get something started for the Dodgers. Remember, with the Cardinals winning, should they beat the Reds, and they've split 12, should the Cardinals win, the Dodgers are down to the so-called magic number of 1. So they can win, and they're still in dire straits. 2-2 pitch on the way from Matt Cain. Right-handed deals, and that's lifted to straightaway center, but playable. Pagan is there. Angel moves to his left, makes the catch, and Gonzalez holds at first. So 1 out, and Shane Victorino coming up. And looking at Matt Cain battling the Dodgers, how about battling Victorino? Victorino is just 5 for 29 against him. That's less than 200. It's just about 185. So Victorino checking in overall, batting .253. Now remember, we told you about the league has 10 bunt singles against Cain, and of all the Dodgers right now, Victorino could very well try to drag one. Instead, full swing foul, and the count 0-1. Victorino checking with Wallach to see if there's a play on. Bunt and run, hit and run. Shane with 11 home runs, 55 runs batted in. Cain at the belt. Now the strike 1 pitch coming up. Victorino slaps it foul off third down the line, and 4 rows back in, and the count 0-2. Victorino working for Don Mattingly these days, but he's only hit .239, though he has struggled since he made his Dodger debut back on August 1st. Shane waiting, 0-2. Kane set, ready, and deals, and the pitch is high. 1-2 to Victorino. Victorino hitting .239, but as a switch hitter, .323 right-handed and only .200 left. That was one reason why we thought he might try to bunt when he first came up. Now he has 2 strikes. 1-2 pitch, pulled on the ground to Belt. He'll go down to Crawford, back to Belt, and the double play. So Victorino hits it hard, but bangs into 2. No run to hit and nobody left. And at the end of 2, 1-0 Giants. Walk to Marco Scutaro and a 2-out double by Buster Posey. And now leading off in the 3rd, Matt Cain, followed by Angel Pagan and Marco Scutaro. So Cain checking in with the bat. Matt, not a bad hitter. He has 13 hits, including 2 doubles. He has a home run and 6 runs batted in, and he takes a strike. And the count 0-1. So Cain, the tip-off, has struck out less than half the time and makes some pretty good contact. Right-hand batter takes off the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. So Cain, Pagan, and Scutaro checking again on the Cincinnati game. And they've gone to the top of the 9th, and the Cardinals are leading 4-2. So Buster Posey burns the Dodgers in the 1st inning, and the Dodgers could be burned from long range. Cincinnati's failure. They led very briefly 1-0 in that game. The 1-2 pitch is swung on and missed, and down goes Cain. Second strikeout for Aaron Harang. The Reds and the Cardinals had split 16 games. The difference, when the Cardinals won the game, they would beat the Reds by almost 5 runs a game. And when the Reds would beat the Cardinals, they'd win by maybe 2. So the Cardinals kind of figured, and they're so tough at home anyway, and they're leading 4-2 in the 9th inning. The leadoff man, Angel Pagan, takes ball 1. To illustrate the point, the Cardinals trying to win their 49th game at home. You know who's won more? Cincinnati. They've won 50. 1-0 pitch on the way. Pagan takes high. 2-0. We're in the top of the third, 1-0 in favor of the Giants. Pregame flied to left in the first inning. Two balls and no strikes. Next one fouled off. Angel Pregame, we told you earlier, put up some great numbers against the Dodgers. Runs so well, he leads the major leagues with 15 triples. That's a Giants record. 2-1 pitch on the way. Switch hitter takes high. 3-1. One nothing Giants, top of the third, one away. Pregame with Scutaro on deck. 3-1 pitch, and Pregame, it's a high fly ball to left. Back for it goes Victorino, still backing up, and makes the catch for the out. 2 down, and Scutaro coming up. You know, next year's schedule is available online, highlighted by opening day with the Giants, some great interleague opponents, Yankees, Red Sox, and Angels, and new season tickets start at $6. So to place a deposit for next year, call 323-224-1365 or just check in Dodgers.com/season tickets. Marco Scutaro takes a strike. 0-1 to Marco, who drew the walk and was cashed in by Posey. The next one to Scutaro, a little low, 1-1. Having joined the Giants, he immediately endears himself to the Giant fans by hitting .343 against the Dodgers. 1-1 pitch is pulled on the ground hard. Cruz stays with it, kind of double clutches, and then throws him out. So it's a 1-2-3 inning for Aaron Harang. And at the end of 2.5 innings, 1-0 Giants. Major Juan Hidalgo Jr. of the United States Marine Corps, our veteran of the game. Boy, look at the ribbons on his chest. I think they said he's had 4 tours of duty over in Iraq and Afghanistan. A hero indeed. Bottom of the third, 1-0 Giants. In the 9th inning in St. Louis, Jason Mott faced Jay Bruce, and Bruce grounded out to second. 1 down. Scott Rowland and Ryan Hannigan are due up. Meanwhile, the Dodgers have Luis Cruz hitting .301. Matt Cain turns, ready, and comes right back 1-0. That's popped in the air, foul, out of play, off to the right. Cruz with a half a dozen home runs, 39 runs batted in. Probably the the biggest surprise of the year, I would think. No one expected him to do what he is doing and expected him to do it every day over such a long period of time. 1-1 pitch, ground ball to short. Crawford is up with it and makes the play, and we have 2 down. Scott Rowland came up against Jason Mott and struck out. So the Reds are down to their last out. The batter is Ryan Hannigan, the catcher. 2 out, 9th inning, and the Cardinals are 1 out away and 1 win away from the postseason. And there isn't a darn thing the Dodgers can do about it. A.J. Ellis checking in. Ellis was in that funk where he was 0 for 30, but he has certainly come roaring back. A.J. takes a strike. The funk, of course, led on because of fatigue, I'm sure. Against the Giants, they would never know it. His on-base percentage against the Giants is .528. Strike 1 pitch, and that's a little low. 1-1. So A.J. Ellis trying to get aboard with 1 out, 2nd inning. Meanwhile, Ryan Hannigan at the plate in the 9th, the Reds' last gasp. The fastball is a check swing, a ground ball smothered by Belt, takes it to the bag for the 2nd out. That was an excellent play by Belt because it wasn't a full swing. I mean, one thing, on a full swing, you're somewhat aware. A check swing, you figure to make a late start because it comes out as a surprise, but Belt was able to dive, stop it, and take it over. So 2 down. Nice play by Brandon Belt. And the batter now, Aaron Harang. 2 out, 3rd inning. Giants lead 1-0. The Cardinals lead the Reds 4-2 with 2 out in the 9th. And the first pitch low and inside. Ryan Hannigan was just called out on strikes. So the Cardinals have beaten the Reds 4-2. The number is 1. A Cardinal victory and or a Dodger defeat, and it's over. So all the Dodgers can do is give it their best shot and try to keep on winning. The 1-1 pitch on the way. Good pitch, in for a strike. And the count 1-2. So the Cardinals have now beaten the Reds head-to-head 7-6. Ground ball to Crawford, sets for the throw, throws him out easily. And thanks to that nice play by Brandon Belt, it's a 1-2-3 inning. And at the end of 3, 1-0 Giants. Nothing in the 4th inning, but in St. Louis, Ryan Hannigan was called out on strikes. The game was over. Cardinals won it 4-2. fireworks go off to celebrate the victory. Yadier Molina, who drove in a run with a sacrifice fly, celebrating with his pitcher, Jason Mott. So the Dodgers 2.5 back, but that's not the story. You know as well as I do, the number is now 1. A Cardinal victory or a Dodger defeat, and that will be that. Dodgers still trying to battle. The Giants will have Sandoval, Posey, and Pence coming up against Aaron Harang. Tomorrow night here, Barry Zito and Chris Capuano. And then Wednesday, a 4:15 game, Ryan Vogelsong and Clayton Kershaw. So Capuano draped on the railing. Meanwhile, Clayton Kershaw chewing his bubble gum as usual. And we go to the 4th. 1-0 Giants. Scudero walked. Posey doubled him in. That was in the first inning. And a strike to Pablo Sandoval, who popped up in the first inning. Tomorrow night in St. Louis, by the way, Matt Latos. Remember Matt when he pitched in San Diego? Sandoval fouls that away. Matt Latos will be on the mound for Cincinnati. And it would be nice, let's face it, they're going to send Chris Carpenter to the mound to try and shut down everything and give the Cardinals another storybook comeback. That's tomorrow night. Meanwhile, 0-2 here. Ground ball to short. So Sandoval rolls out, 1 down. The batter will be Buster Posey.
Catcher, number 28, Buster Posey.
Posey, just a truly remarkable ball player. Doubled in the run in the first inning. Since the All-Star break, and of course he's an All-Star, he's hit .389. In fact, if you add his double tonight, he's hitting better than .390 since the All-Star break. So the remarkable young catcher checking in. Fastball hit down the line, foul. 0-1. Posey has been burned by stolen bases, but then again, you usually run on the pitcher. So whether you want to blame him for half of it or not, he is second in stolen bases allowed. That would be the only blot on his escutcheon. 87 stolen bases allowed. But he is a dandy. 1-2. Posey hitting .338, 23 home runs, 101 runs batted in. A line drive foul. Posey is 6'1", 205-pounder. And with all of his overwhelming ability, he's only 25. He was signed out of Florida State by the Giants, #1 pick, 4 years ago. And 1 year after he was signed, he was actually catching a couple of games in the big leagues. 1-2. Fouled away. Posey hit one over Victorino's head in left center field, hit the base of the left center field wall, and Scudero scored easily. So it's 1-0 Giants, 4th inning, 1 out. Two and two. Aaron Harang, 10 wins, 10 losses, 7 wins, 7 losses against the Giants. 2-2. Fouled at the plate. Giants trying to beat the Dodgers for the 10th time. They won 5 out of 9 up at AT&T Park. They've won 4 of 6 so far here. But the big story, I guess, Bruce Bochy and his team, and August the 15th. That's when the season completely changed. 2-2. August the 15th, Melky Cabrera was suspended. A lot of people felt badly for the Giants, the damage that Cabrera did to the club. And on August the 15th, the Giants then went on and won 29 and lost 13. The Dodgers went 20 and 22, and thereby hangs the tale. Ball 3. 3-2 the count to Buster. What a combination. Scutaro and Posey. And sure enough, that combination gave the Giants a run in the first inning. Another foul ball. That'll carry upstairs. So Harang, who has now made 59 pitches, ready to make number 60. Posey's hit him better than 500 against Harang. Buster, with his double in the first inning, has 4 hits in 7 at-bats, including a home run. So there's no surprise that he ripped Harang in the first inning. Meanwhile, it's been an 11-pitch at-bat. Here's number 12. 3-2. And ground ball, nice hop. Ramirez almost threw that thing away. Adrian Gonzalez making a good play. 2 down.
Coming to the plate, number 8, Hunter Pence.
So Posey grounds out with the bases empty. And with 2 down, Hunter Pence. Hunter Pence struck out in the first inning, 0 for 1. Pence, a power hitter, has hit more than 20, as you can see. Check swing, out to get it will be Harang, and throw him out. So Harang doing very well. He's allowed only a walk since the double in the first inning. 1-0. Wireless receiver from AT&T U-verse. Visit AT&T.com/freeyourtv. Rethink possible. And by El Pollo Loco. Crazy you can taste. 1-0 in favor of the Giants. Bottom of the 4th inning. Dodgers with Ellis, Epier, and Kemp against Matt Cain. off the plate. 1 ball and no strikes. Mark Ellis grounded to short in the first inning. Even though Brandon Crawford fell down, he was able to get up and throw him out. 1 ball and 1 strike to Mark. If you joined us late and you wonder, the Cardinals beat the Reds 4-2, and the magic number is down to 1. It's like an Agatha Christie novel. And then there were 6, and then there were 5, and well, it's 1. Two balls and 1 strike. Andre Ethier, who hits Kane well, on deck. Good fastball at 92. Ellis fouls it back. 2-2 to Mark. Ellis, outstanding defensive player. You can get a second baseman to hit about 260 and turn in the job defensively. You have yourself a solid citizen, and Mark Ellis certainly fills that out. 2-2. Ball 3. Matt Cain trying to win his 17th. Trying to beat the Dodgers for the second time this year. Line drive to the gap. Here comes Pagan, and he traps it. So Ellis will hold on with a long single. Great effort by Angel Pagan, but the best he could do is trap it. And Larry Vanover, the second base umpire, was out there to call it. It looks like you could see it easily on videotape, but not so in the stand. It appeared to be much closer than that in real time, and Vanover was right there to make the call. So a good try by Pagan, good call by second base umpire Larry Vanover, and the batter is Andre Ethier. Ethier, who hits Cain hard, lined out to short in the first inning. And he hits a high fly ball into deep left center. Back goes Pagan. She is gone, and the Dodgers lead 2-1. Andre Ethier continues to have a mystifying grip on one of the top pitchers in the game, Matt Cain. And he just unloaded with that picture swing. So Andre Ethier, who has waited a while, comes up with his 20th home run. He now has 89 runs batted in. Cain now is working on Kemp, and he hits one foul down the right field line, and the count 0-1. For Matt Cain, that would be the 21st home run that he has given up. And for Andre, number 20. So the Dodgers lead 2-1 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Not much they can do except win and hope somehow, if they can win tonight, the Cardinals might lose to Matt Latos tomorrow night. Kemp batting .310, 23 home runs, 69 runs batted in. Kemp has 1 home run, hitting in the 220s against Matt Cain. Outfield plays him deep and straight away. 0-2 the count. Cain sailing along, has only made 40 pitches. Strike 2 pitch. That was not that close. Crowd will boo. Of course, I can say it's not that close. Matt Kemp might disagree, but didn't appear like that was anything like a knockdown pitch. Andre Ethier hits a 2-run home run, and Kemp is driven off the plate. You can see Matt's theory is home plate belongs to me. 1-2. Got him. That was a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. So Matt has struck out twice against Matt Cain. And the batter is Adrian Gonzalez. Adrian Gonzalez is a .317 career hitter against Matt Cain, and he's also tied for the lead in home runs against Cain. He has 4, as does Troy Tulowitzki, Chase Utley, and Khalil Green. They have all hit 4. That's a strike, 0-1. Gonzalez singled to center in the second inning. 26 hits now against Matt Cain. Andre Ethier has hit a few, not as many. Ethier with that home run. 2-1 in favor of the Dodgers. Bottom of the 4th inning. 1 ball and 1 strike. Off speed pitch, roll wide to Belt. He'll feed Cain coming over. 2 down in the 4th inning. Good changeup by Matt. And the batter is Hanley Ramirez. Hanley Ramirez flied to center in the second inning. When you talk about Matt Cain, you're talking about a good sinking fastball that's been clocked as high as 97. He has a cutter, curveball, he has a slider, and even a change. Fastball, that's that sinker, and that was coming up there at around 88. Oh, 0-1 to Hanley Ramirez. Interesting, we were talking about Adrian Gonzalez and his .317 batting average against Matt Cain and 4 home runs. Andre Ethier wears him out. Andre Ethier is probably hitting around .470 against Matt Cain. But that home run, first one that he's hit against Matt. He'll take it as he talks to Elian Herrera. 0-2. Could read the lips of Ethier very briefly on that close-up shot. Whatever Herrera had asked him about, he said first time up. So Herrera no doubt asking him the thinking behind the mental package that Ethier brought up to the plate for that home run. Ground ball to Crawford. That will do it. 1-2-3 on the heels of the home run. But Andre Ethier, one swing of the bat, and at the end of 4, Dodgers lead the Giants 2-1.
October 6, 1963.
An underdog going into the 1963 World Series, the Dodgers sweep the New York Yankees thanks to some astounding pitching. In the 4 games, the Yankees total 4 runs and a 168 batting average.
Koufax wins 2, Drysdale was 1. I think Johnny Podgers wins 1 with Peronowski coming in. We did everything right, and it was really an exciting 4 games.
1963 is a long time ago, And yet those of us who are privileged to see that series will never forget the Dodgers sweeping the Yankees in 4. 6 championships, and I would think for those in the organization that was the sweetest. Meanwhile, 2-1 Dodgers, 5th inning. Brandon Belt, Xavier Nady, and then Brandon Crawford. Change, ball 1. Belt walked in the 2nd inning, but then Nady hit into a double play. Slow breaking ball, but he missed with it. That thing came up at 73. 2-0 to Brandon Belt. A great name for a player, especially a home run hitter. He has just 7, but he might grow into that name. I mean, we have Homer Bailey, but he's a pitcher. 2-1. Years ago, the Cubs had a catcher, Carl Sawatsky. 3-1. What's in a name? A rose by any other name, etc. Cardinals won. They beat the Reds 4-2 if you just joined us. Fly ball into left center, very playable. That's Matt Kemp. And that's 1 out. Aaron Harang gave up a walk with 1 out in the 1st inning, and with 2 out, Buster Posey doubled home Scutaro. But boy, he's really been in command ever since. He retired 9 in a row, and now here's Xavier Nady, who grounded into a double play in the 2nd inning. Pablo Sandoval has popped up and grounded out, so the Pandas 0 for 2. And there's a high pop fly into shallow left. Ramirez looking for Victorino, and there he is. 10 in a row retired. Well, it's time for you not to retire. Time for you to put on your thinking cap. Miguel Cabrera leads the American League in average, home runs, and runs batted in. Which 2 players won 2 Triple Crowns? 2. Brandon Crawford fly to center in the 2nd inning. Ball 1. Two runs, 3 hits for the Dodgers. 1 run, 1 hit for the Giants. Giants got a double from Posey to knock in Scutaro. The Dodgers got a home run from Ethier to drive in Ellis, who was aboard. So Posey versus Ethier, and Ethier leads 2-1. 1-1. Matt Latos tomorrow night against Chris Carpenter. Dodgers will have Chris Capuano and Barry Zito. How important will Chris' assignment be tomorrow night? It depends on tonight. Line drive, base hit into left field. Victorino is on it. So a 2-out single by Crawford will bring up Matt Cain.
Number 18, Matt Cain.
So the base hit comes and snaps 10 in a row. Cain struck out in the 3rd inning. Aaron Harang has 2 strikeouts. He has walked 2. He's given up 2 hits and 1 run. Matt's pretty good hitter. Strike. 0-1. Oh, and 2. Matt Cain really began to turn the corner as a pitcher in 2010, maybe in the middle of that. And that's when he really became a very good pitcher. Down he goes. Third strikeout for Aaron Harang. No runs, 1 hit, a man left. At the end of 4 1/2, 2-1 Dodgers. Series with the Giants, and the final regular season home game Wednesday with the Giants. That game starts at 4:15 p.m. It'll be on Prime Ticket if you can make it, but hopefully you'll be out here with us on the final game of the regular season. And for tickets, visit Dodgers.com/tickets. Matt Cain getting ready to pitch to Victorino, Cruz, and A.J. Ellis. Matt has allowed 2 runs, 3 hits. Dodgers lead 2-1. Victorino hit a sharp ground ball at first base, and Brandon Belt turned it into a double play. Now, we mentioned at the start of the game, we were told that Matt Cain would be on a pitch count, that he would certainly not pitch more than 75 pitches. Well, he's made 49 so far. 0-1. Victorino batting .253, 11 home runs, 55 runs batted in. It was a revolving door in left field until Shane arrived. One of 9 left fielders. Shane, of course, a threat if he gets on base. He's stolen 39 bases. 1-2 the count. Victorino against Matt Cain, however, 5 for 30. Still 1-2. Again, we'll repeat. The Cardinals beat the Reds 4-2. The number is 1. Cardinals would like to do it tomorrow night and win it on their own. The Dodgers would like to force them to have to play on Wednesday. 1-2. 2-2 to Shane Victorino. And line down the left field line in there. It will go to the box seats. Over to play it nicely is Nady. So into second base standing with the double is Victorino. For Victorino, that would be his 28th double. Only Han Ramirez ahead of him with 29. So Victorino opens with the double. and Luis Cruz will be the batter. Dodgers trying to add to a 2-1 lead, and Cruz checking to see what's on the order for him. Cruz nodding to Tim Wallach. Cruz has one sacrifice. The way he's been playing, Giants are not looking bunt. Crawford trying to bird dog Victorino and take a step away, and Kane off the rubber. Sandoval keeps looking back towards Victorino. Cruz pulls it, and Sandoval just looks Victorino back and throws out Cruz. So Luis unable to advance his man by pulling the ball to third. One away, and A.J. Ellis coming up. Ellis on a checked swing almost got away with an extra base hit. The check swing produced a ground ball and a diving stop by Brandon Belt. Great reaction for Belt, as we mentioned, especially on a check swing. So A.J. the winner of the Roy Campanella Award, and Campy would certainly be proud of him and say he richly deserves the award. Yep. Number 39. From a little place in Philadelphia called Nice Town. Nice man. 1-0. Victorino dancing away, as that's a foul ball. If nothing else, Shane has the infield in motion with a right-hand hitter up. Scutero has to keep an eye on him. Brandon Crawford at the rim, so he can't do very much. Sandoval is deep at third, but constantly looking over to see what Victorino is up to. 1-1. One and two. It's a big difference, of course. If Cruz is able to get his man over to third, the Giant infield has to play up, and that makes Ellis an even tougher hitter than just 269. So it's always a big out, especially in the middle of the game, when you fail to advance the man to third. 1-2. Aaron Harang on deck. A look, but no throw. Just to let Victorino know he's aware of it. We also mentioned earlier the league stole 15 bases against Kane, although most of them the first half of the season. That's going to go foul down the line, well out of play. In the first half of the season, the league was 15 for 18 against Matt Cain. However, in the second half, he has only allowed 3 stolen bases for a total of 18. And one other thing, in the month of September, Matt Cain allowed 1 home run. And on the first day in October, he allowed the home run by Andre Ethier. 1-2. 2-2. We mentioned earlier about how tough Kane is with 2 strikes. So let's see what he does right now. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Any count, 0-2 or right up to 3-2, he's been dynamite. All right, now let's see what he does 3-2. All the 2-strike counts, the league is hitting well under 200, and a 3-2 count, the hitters are batting 122. and he walked him. And, of course, being very careful, you have Harang up. Now you wonder about Harang trying to sacrifice. Harang this year has sacrificed 6 times. Clayton Kershaw leads the club with 14. Chris Capuano has 13. So Kershaw could open up a school on how to get a bunt down. Giants looking bunt, of course. Belt ready to charge. Sandoval has to play caddy corner at third. 2 on, 1 out. 2-1 Dodgers. There's the bunt. It's down. It will be played by Kane only to Scudero. So Aaron moves him along to second and third. So a thoroughly professional at-bat for Aaron Harang. His 7th sacrifice, and they lead it up to Mark Ellis. Ellis grounded to short in the first inning and singled to center in the 4th. So he was aboard when Andre Ethier hit it out over the center field wall. Dodgers lead 2-1. So second and third, and here is Mark. Mark Ellis has close to 450 plate appearances, and he has struck out 70 times. Breaking ball missed, ball 1. You can bet Matt Cain will give Mark Ellis everything he has because he doesn't want to look at Ethier again, not with people on base. That's that sinker, the 2-seamer. 1-1. Cain 66 pitches, so if they are going to pull him at the end of 75, he's getting very close. 1-1. Ground foul. All right, another 2-strike count. Another time when Matt Cain is so tough. So Victorino is at third. A.J. Ellis at second. 2 out. Dodgers lead 2-1. Bottom of the 5th. 1-2 to Mark Ellis. Crack bat, little one hopper, picked up, and the out. You could hear that bat, celery stalks at midnight. So for the Dodgers, no runs, 1 hit, 2 left, and at the end of 5, 2-1 Dodgers.
Three, 4. Stick Mike in the booth. 1, 2, 3, 4.
The Dodgers clinch the National League Western Division by beating the San Diego Padres. Among other things, Don Sutton won his 19th game. The reliever, Mike Marshall, came into his 106th game, and that team in 1974, they won 100 games. But as they say on Broadway, how'd they come out? Well, they wound up in the World Series, and they lost to Oakland. And with that, let's go back to this one.
Putting up the sixth inning, center fielder, Angel Pagan.
Tough ball game, 2-1, favor of the Dodgers. Pagan, Scutaro, and Sandoval in that order. You know, to follow up on the thinking, it's rather amazing. We mentioned the 2-strike count, and Mark Ellis grounded out, cracked his bat, not to get in the way of the play. 0-1, 1-1. Overall, against Kane, if Matt has 2 strikes on you, you barely stand a chance. The league is hitting .115 against Matt Kane with 2 strikes. That's a strike, 1-2. Tonight, the Dodgers are hot. They're 2 for 10 with 2 strikes. They got a single from Mark Ellis, and Victorino had a double, and that's it. That's a remarkable stat. 2-2. Kane, by the way, his pitch count now is 68. But he's losing 2-1, but they do have somebody up in the bullpen now. 2-2. High fly ball, Victorino. So Pagan goes the other way, 1 down. There's Matt Kane draped on the railing, 5 innings, 2 earned runs. The one who hurts him all the time, Andre Ethier. Ryan Theriot to his right. Brandon Belt to his left. So Pagan a fly ball, 1 away. But boy, that's amazing. If he gets 2 strikes, you're done. Scutaro has walked and grounded to third. It's interesting that since the All-Star break, the top 2 hitters in the National League are both Giants. Buster Posey hitting .390. Scutaro now hitting .336. For the year, Marco batting .304, walked and scored the Giant run in the first inning. High fly ball to right. It's playable. Ethier is there. So 2 down on fly balls. Pablo Sandoval coming up. Right now, let's give you the answer to the trivia. Miguel Cabrera leading the American League. Average home runs, RBIs. Which 2 players won 2 Triple Crowns? Rogers Hornsby, who might have been one of the greatest players to ever play as far as hitting, and the great Ted Williams. Rogers Hornsby put up some numbers. I used to have it handy. See if I still do. It's really worth finding. Rogers Hornsby in 1922 batted .401. He had 42 home runs and 152 runs batted in. And in 1925, he had 39 home runs, 143 runs batted in, and he batted .403. So you talk about hitting .400, he did that twice. By the way, in 1924, he didn't win the Triple Crown. All he hit that year, .424. An amazing hitter, Rogers Hornsby. I remember when he managed briefly in the National League, and he came to New York with his ball club, and his players were taking batting practice, and the Giants asked Hornsby, and he must have been 55 years old anyway. They said, Roger, go on in and take a little BP and show these kids how to hit. And he got in the cage and put on such an exhibition. They talked about it for weeks. Because what would happen is he'd get in the cage and they say, Roger, pull. And he'd hit a shot over third. Say, Roger, hit and run. He'd hit a line drive to right field. I mean, he did the most amazing thing. So when you're talking about great hitters, and there are good ones, of course, whatever you do, don't forget Rogers Hornsby. Still 3-2 to Pablo Sandoval. Buster Posey on deck. Jose Mijares, the left-hander, is throwing in the Giant bullpen. Jamie Wright is in the Dodger bullpen. Three and two. And another foul ball. You know, we also mentioned Ted Williams. He was the American League MVP in either of his Triple Crown years. Joe Gordon was in 1942. Joe DiMaggio was in 1947. And Williams also didn't win the MVP in 1941. That's the year when he electrified America when he hit 406. That's a nice pick by Gonzalez, and the Golden Glove wins it. Why did people overlook Williams a little bit? That was the year that Joe DiMaggio had the famous 56-game hitting streak. It looks like Matt's not going to work anymore. 2-1 Dodgers. And Aaron Harang, the difference right now, the long home run to center by Andre Ethier with Mark Ellis aboard. Andre's 20th home run, and the Dodgers stubbornly trying to stay on and lead the Giants 2-1. Ethier, Kemp, and Gonzalez will be coming up in the bottom of the 6th inning, and they'll be facing Jose Mijares. Now here is a fella who has really had a tough life. He's 27 years old. He'll be 28 the end of October. He is from the poorest slums of all, they say, in Caracas, Venezuela. Not only poor, he lost his mom when he was 5. He lost his father when he was 10. He had his brother murdered in a restaurant, in a Caracas nightclub restaurant. I mean, just been brutal. And somehow Jose has managed to fight his way through it, and here he is. High foul off third, down the line. That will go out of play. 0-1 the count. Just to add to all of that grief for Mijares, Jose, in losing his mom, his dad, his brother, he was also in a terrible automobile accident 4 years ago. He's left-handed, and the accident broke his left elbow. But here he is. He's an even 6, at least 230. He has to fight his weight. Another foul ball. 0-2. Aaron Harang has turned in a great effort. Harang has gone 6 innings, made 90 pitches, allowed only 1 run in the first inning on a walk to Scutaro and a 2-out double by Buster Posey. 0-2. Matt Cain was Matt Cain. We told you when the game started he had a pitch count of 75. He made 68, and that was enough for Bruce Bochy. Cain could lose. He would then be 4-9, but it's only 2-1. Down in the Dodger bullpen, with Harang having gone 6 and having allowed just 2 hits, Ronald Belisario begins to loosen up. 2 runs, 4 hits for the Dodgers. 1 run, 2 hits for the Giants. Jose Mijares. High fly ball. Back goes Pagan on the track at the wall. A long out for Andre Ethier. Boy, he gave that one a ride. So Andre has lined out to short, cleared the center field wall for his 20th home run, and then the fly ball that sent Pagan to the track. So 1 away. Here's Matt Kemp. Matt Kemp facing the left-hander. He had a lot of troubles. 10 hits and 46 at-bats against Cain. Struck out twice against Cain. Now he looks at Mijares. 1 ball and no strikes. For Matt, hitting .309, but he's put up huge numbers, hitting .378 against left-hand pitching. Two and 0. That easy low fastball clocked at 92. Basically with Mijares, fastball, slider, curve, and a changeup. 1 hopper. Whoa, what a stop by Brandon Crawford to throw him out. Best way to play that line drive, sideways, which is what he did. Okay, get your body behind it. No thanks, I'd like to be around a while. So 2 out. Very nice play by Brandon Crawford and the batter Adrian Gonzalez, who was singled and grounded out. For Kemp, 0 for 3. 2 runs, 4 hits for the Dodgers. 1 run, 2 hits for the Giants. Way out in front of that change. 0-1. Adrian singled, grounded out. 1 for 2. Hitting .319 in his career against Matt Cain. Fastball sliced to left center. Pagan is going to have to play that off the wall. Adrian's going to hustle for 2, and he is in there. A good throw might have made it closer. For Adrian Gonzalez, a double is really old hat. He had 46 doubles, 37 in the American League. Now he has 10 with the Dodgers. So he's had 47 doubles, and Hanley Ramirez tried to pick him up. Hit number 5 for the Dodgers. They had 2 runs, 4 hits against Matt Cain. 47 doubles, a career high for Adrian Gonzalez. Ramirez flied to center, grounded to short. Hanley with 92 stolen bases, and they will take the bat out of his hands, and they'll go after Victorino. So Shane will be batting right-handed. after Ramirez gets the intentional pass. By the way, that's the second walk issued by the Giants tonight, and Harang has walked 2. So the pitchers have been pretty much right around the plate. So Shane Victorino will come up batting right-handed. 2 on, 2 out, 2-1 Dodgers in a must-win game. It's a must-win just to try and extend it for another day. Matt Latos and Chris Carpenter tomorrow night in St. Louis. Barry Zito and Chris Capuano here. So the Dodgers left runners at first and second in the 5th inning. That was their other rally. And now with 2 out and 2 on, here's Victorino. Posey stood up to let Mahara say, wait a minute, I'm going to go over the signs again. And then he gestured. Low fastball. Adrian Gonzalez might be a tough man to score on a base hit. Marco Scutaro staying close, trying to take a step away from him. One and 0. A little high, ball 2. Luis Cruz on deck. Down in the Giant bullpen, George Cantos, the right-hander, begins to warm up. There he is, back in the shadows. And ball 3. So we've certainly seen it happen a lot. A pitcher is asked to throw 4 purposefully wide of the plate, and then all of a sudden he comes back and he can't find a strike. So Cruz waits, and Victorino up there 3-0. And a ground ball base hit to left field. Can they score Adrian Gonzalez? I don't think so. Nope. I figured they couldn't get him home on a base hit. So the Dodgers wind up with a single, a double, a walk. But Xavier Nady makes a perfect throw to Buster Posey. There was no collision because he was out easily, and all Posey had to do is tag and step aside. And it's still 2-1 Dodgers. When he got to second base, I didn't think Adrian Gonzalez would score on a base hit. And when it was going to be close, I also knew that Buster Posey was not going to be involved in a collision. He is out in front of the plate. He's been ordered by the Giants not to block the plate. He's just too darn valuable. So he lets Gonzalez come to him. The door was open. Adrian went through, but was tagged on the way. And, of course, when you realize how important it was for Posey, you can understand exactly what he did. There was also a fine throw by Xavier Nady. And remember that note we gave you. Xavier twice had Tommy John surgery. All right, 7th inning, Posey, Pence, and Belt against Ronald Belisario. Strike, 0-1. So Aaron Harang went 6 fine innings, allowed 1 run, 2 hits, walked 2, struck out 3. You know, interesting, too, going into this game recently, Dodgers starting pitchers had allowed 1 run in 20 innings. So Harang came and did the same thing. He gives up 1 in 6. Belisario battling Posey. And that'll be that. So Ronald Belisario knocks off Posey, 1 away. You know, during the last regular season home games, be sure to visit the Dodgers team stores throughout the stadium. All the merchandise will be up to 50% off, including all jackets. So whether you're shopping for yourself or the Dodger fan in your family or a good friend, be sure to visit the Dodger team stores at Dodger Stadium. 1 away, and here is Hunter Pence. Ball 1. Hunter Pence struck out, hit back to the box, 0 for 2, batting .256. Belisario nails his first man. Foul back. Two to 1 favor the Dodgers. 7th inning, 1 out. Belisario 8-1. With a strikeout, he has 28 walks, 68 strikeouts. Two 2-1 to Pence. Now 3-1. Pence hitting .200, 1 for 5 against Belisario in the past. One out, 7th inning, 2-1 Dodgers. Good fastball, 96. 3-2 the count. Hunter Pence 9 hits away from 1,000 in his career. A busted bat. It's hit off Belisario's glove, that Ellis throws him out. A 95-mile-an-hour fastball just sawed that bat off in his hand. Gets off the glove, so they'll probably give him an assist, make it 1-4-3. 2 down. And the batter, Brandon Belt. Two runs, 6 hits for the Dodgers. 1 run, 2 hits for the Giants. Little low. When the Dodgers come up in the bottom of the 7th, Luis Cruz, A.J. Ellis, and we'll see about Belisario. He's due up 3rd. Big roller foul by Roberto Kelly. Over at 3rd, Tim Flannery. Brandon Belt walked and flied to center. No sign for Flannery to give, and a 1-1 count. Fastball whacked into right, base hit. So a 2-out single for Brandon Belt brings up Xavier Nady. Nady is 0 for 2, hit into a double play and fly to left, but he made that great throw to erase Adrian Gonzalez at the plate. Ball 1. Brandon Belt has stolen 11 out of 13. Giants are down 2-1, 2 out. So I'm sure he would be a threat to try and steal second. Belisario thinks so. Two and 0. Dodgers 2 runs, 6 hits. Giants 1 run, 3 hits. If you joined us late, Giants got a run in the first inning. Scutaro walked and Posey doubled him in. In the 4th inning, Mark Ellis singled and Andre Ethier really lowered the boom, hit one into the center field seats. Ethier's 26th hit against Matt Cain and his first home run against the right-hander. 2-0 the count to Nady. There goes Belt. That figured. The pitch is high. The throw is even higher. So with 2 out, the chances were awfully good he would go, and he steals his 12th. So Belt got a jump, and the throw got a rate. A try by Mark Ellis, but that all. So Belt now the tying run, 3-0 the count. And ball 4 to bring up the Giant shortstop, Brandon Crawford. Down in the Dodger bullpen, Kenley Jansen and Randy Choate. Crawford's a left-hand batter. We're watching Don Mattingly. He's at the base of the stairs. And he's going to come and get him. Yep. So the one left-hander coming up now with 2 out is Crawford. And that's why Choate got up in a hurry. So you have to believe Belisario gets 2 outs and gives up a single, a stolen base, and a walk. And he'll give way to Randy Choate. Well, maybe not. Are we agreed? We're all agreed. Okay, stay in. Brandon Crawford has fly to center, single to center. Of course, for Mattingly, he's also looking ahead to the pitcher spot for the Giants. Aubrey Huff is out on deck, among others, but there are several available. And a lot of right-handers. Remember that one game the Giants won at home early in September when they used 11 pitchers and 25 players? So he's got a lot of cards to play. Meanwhile, that's a strike to Brandon Crawford. Hitting .249, 1 for 2. So Choate has stopped throwing. 1-1. Two out, 7th inning. Tying run, Belt at second. Nady at first. 1-1. Little roller on his foot. No play. Dead ball. 1-2. For Brandon Crawford, hitting 8th in the lineup. Normally, I would think, during the playoffs, he'd be facing some left-handers. They don't really tell you that much about how he hits left and right. 1-2. Almost threw that away at 95. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So deuces are really wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on, 2-1 Dodgers. Big pitch. He would just as soon give the Giant runners a break and have them going on a full count with 2 out. So this will be a big pitch for him. Crawford fights it off. Ronald Belisario. He'll be 30 New Year's Eve. 6'2", about 240 from Maracay, Venezuela. Baby Abreu's old hound. 2-2. Got him. So the decision to stay with Belisario to go after the left-hander Crawford pays off, and the Dodgers still hold on to a 2-1 lead.
Your attention, please. Now pitching for the Giants, number 59, Guillermo Mays.
Dodgers struggling to score runs, but they've still managed to score one more than the Giants. For the Dodgers, of course, one swing of the bat by Andre Ethier following a base hit by Mark Ellis in the 4th inning, plus brilliant pitching from Harang and Belisario, and the Dodgers take a 2-1 lead into the bottom of the 7th inning. They'll be facing a former Dodger, Guillermo Mota, and the big guy will be the 3rd pitcher for the Giants. with Kane, Maharis, and now Mota. For the Dodgers in the 7th inning, Luis Cruz, A.J. Ellis, and Belisario would be due up. We'll just have to wait and see. For Cruz, he has hit 2 ground balls to short and to third. And facing the veteran right-hander, Guillermo Mota. Mota, in 24 games, with an ERA of 5, though he has not been solid all year. 8 walks, 23 strikeouts, that's good. And a couple of more hits than innings pitched, that's not so good. So Cruz checking in against him. Mota, who pitches out of a stretch all the time, just about ready to do just that. And that's a strike, 0-1. Mota rejoined the Giants August the 28th. And that's going to be hit to center, but at the other end of it is Angel Pagan. So just like that, 1 away in the 7th. Look for tomorrow night. If the Dodgers can hang on to this one, tomorrow night will be an extremely important game. And Barry Zito looking for his 15th win against another veteran left-hander, Chris Capuano, looking for his 13th. Tomorrow night will be on KCAL 9 at 7, and then Wednesday prime ticket at 4:15. A.J. Ellis robbed of a hit. A nice play by Brandon Belt and walked. Guillermo Mota could be an important part of the Giants. The reason that he has not pitched much, he was given a 100-game suspension in May, testing positive for a substance in violation of baseball's Joint Drug Prevention and Treatment Program. So he is back. One ball and 1 strike. Mota's 38 years old, big man, 6'6" and about 240. Missed inside. Guillermo is one of 6 active players in the big leagues to appear in over 700 major league games. He also had a home run his first at bat in the big leagues. The 4th team pitcher to do that. So Guillermo Mota. Ellis batting .263, 12 home runs, 50 runs batted in. Mota was with the Dodgers in 2002, 3, and 4. So he knows the territory. He started with Montreal, then came to the Dodgers, then went to Florida, then to Cleveland, then to the Mets, then to Milwaukee, back with the Dodgers 3 years ago, 2 years with the Giants. Guillermo Mota. Bobby Abreu on deck. Just off the plate. So 3-2 the count. Giants trying to win their 94th game. The Dodgers trying to win their 85th. Look out. So he hits him on a 3-2 pitch, and Ellis goes to first. for A.J. Ellis. He has now been hit 7 times. Bobby Abreu coming up. For Mota, that would be the second man that he's hit. And here comes Bruce Bochy. Gregor Blanco is going to come into left field, and we'll see about a Giant pitcher. And we'll be right back. One out, bottom of the 7th inning. The 2 runs were provided by Andre Ethius' 20th home run of the year against Matt Cain with a man aboard, and he hit it into the center field seats. The shutdown of the Giants thus far belongs to Aaron Harang. 6 great innings, allowing just 1 earned run, and Belisario pitched the 7th. Jeremy Affeldt, the veteran left-hander, will now pick up for Mota and become the 4th Giant pitcher. Affeldt with a 1-2 record, but he is a workhorse. Affeldt, big fella at 6'4", 220. 33 years old, lives in Phoenix, or did, and moved to Medical Lake, Washington. His father was an Air Force captain. Family bounced around a lot, understandably. And now Juan Rivera will be coming up, and not Bobby Abreu. I don't think Abreu was announced. I don't believe. We'll have to double check. I mean, he stood there when they brought in the left-hander, and Abreu then went away. So I'm not sure. We'll check. Is Rivera hitting for Bobby, or is he hitting for Ronnie Belisario? Well, one way or another, the Dodgers are hoping he's hitting. Rivera hitting .239, big breaking ball for a strike. He has 8 home runs, 45 runs batted in. Juan, a look at Wallach. A.J. Ellis at first, 1 out. 2-1 Dodgers. Fastball. His fastball has been clocked anywhere from 90 to 95. That was 93. He has a big 12-6 curveball. He's added a cutter, and he throws a changeup. Jeremy Affeldt. Fastball hit to right field. Coming up for it is Pence. Holding at first is Ellis, and Mark Ellis will be coming up. So Rivera fly ball to right. 2 down. Jeremy Affeldt spent some time in the American League, as did Mark Ellis. Affeldt signed with the Royals in 06. He went from the Royals to the Rockies, then to the Reds and to the Giants. And of course, Mark spent time with the A's. Fly ball to right field. Hunter Pence is right there. So Affeldt comes in and gets his outs. And at the end of 7, 2-1 Dodgers. And of course, right now, looking at the standings, the numbers only mean one number, and that's 1. The Dodgers 2.5 back of the Cardinals, but that's not important, not for the moment. If the Dodgers lose, it's important because there's no magic number. Cardinals 1. So Kenley Jansen will become the 3rd Dodger pitcher. Harang went a strong 6. Belisario struck out 2, got the side out despite giving up a base hit and a walk. And now Jansen picked up. Brandon Lee has been closing. So Jansen is now the setup man. Couple of answers, no doubt, but we just wanted to double check. Bobby Abreu came out on deck, and Boshi saw him and immediately made the change for Affeldt. So Bobby Abreu was definitely announced. That means he has been technically in the game, and we won't see him again the rest of the night. Gregor Blanco, who came in a double switch, playing left field, and Blanco will start it off. You have to watch him. He has 23 infield hits, and they pull up the corners. Runs very well. Strike. Blanco hitting .243, 5 home runs, 34 runs batted in. Blanco's from Venezuela, from Caracas. 0-2. Gregor wearing a shin guard. That either got him high up or all the way down below it. He's 5'11", 175. He'll be 29 the middle of December and was originally signed by the Atlanta Braves. They say that Gregor Blanco was playing organized baseball at the age of 4. It's pretty hard to believe that they had organized baseball, but his dad played baseball in the Venezuelan minor leagues. 0-2. One ball and 2 strikes. Came up with the Braves. He was with them in 08 and 9 and 10. Had a spot of time with the Royals and with the Giants. Down he goes. So Kenley Jansen comes in and takes care of Blanco. 1 out in the 8th inning. Nothing fancy, just a fastball, and he threw it right by him. Angel Pagan will be coming up. Pagan has hit 3 fly balls to Victorino. Jansen has had his way with him so far, 0 for 4 and 2 strikeouts. Ball 1. When the Dodgers come up in the bottom of the 8th, Ethier, Kemp, and Gonzalez. Paid attendance tonight, 33,624. 33,624. Hope you'll be out here with us tomorrow night. Barry Zito, Chris Capuano. That's a drive down the line in there. Ethier's going to have to play the carom. Into second base goes Pagan. So Angel Pagan salutes after coming up with the double. He had 7 hits and just wore the Dodgers out the last time the Giants were down here in August. He was 0 for 3 tonight, but not this time, as he doubles, so the tying run is out there for Marco Scutaro. Giants' 4th hit. They had 2 hits against Harang, 1 hit against Belisario, and now this hit against Jansen. Marco walked, scored the run, grounded to third, fly to right. Overall batting average, .304. Scutaro not only came in here hitting .361 since the end of July, with runners in scoring position, he's hitting .388. A tremendous acquisition by the Giants, along with Hunter Pence. 0-1. To the bag is Ellis. Not a chance. They have to watch Pagan. He has stolen 29 out of 36. He has been picked off 7 times, so he's an adventuresome runner. 1 ball and 1 strike to Marco Scutaro. On deck, Pablo Sandoval. We're in the 8th. 2-1 Dodgers. Two and 1. Dodgers, interestingly enough, have been in 54 games decided by 1 run. They are 28-26, and they're leading 2-1 tonight. Jansen didn't like the way Pagan had that lead. No way Ramirez can cover him. Hanley is way down the rim at short. So Mark Ellis would like to fake to the bag to take a lead away from him. 2-1. Time. No pitch. That's tough. What happened was Marco Scutaro was tired of waiting. Henley Jansen was looking back at Pagan and waiting for Mark Ellis. So Mark Ellis then ran back to his position. And by that time, Scutaro backs out. And immediately the plate umpire, Jerry Lane, says, hey, don't give me a bad time. The hitter asked for time. And any time a hitter asks for time, he gets it. So Kenley a little annoyed because he was definitely in the act of pitching. And Scutero, he was just tired of watching what was going on at second base and decided to ask for time. When you're playing with fellas who throw 95 and 96, if you ask for time, the umpire's going to give it to you. Kenley was annoyed because it was while he was just about ready to release the ball. So Honeycutt goes out to kind of smooth down his feathers a little bit. All right, they hook up again. 2 balls and 1 strike. Pagan, the tying run at second. 1 out. 8th inning. 2-1 Dodgers. And a line drive base hit, wouldn't you know. Charging Victorino. Pagan runs too well to be thrown out. And down to second base goes Scutero. So for Victorino, he really doesn't have a chance to get a guy like Pagan. And the biggest problem was the fact that his throw was not cut off. And that is a fatal play to allow Scutero to go to second base on the throw. There was no chance. I mean, Victorino juggled and then threw high. It couldn't be cut off, and that could be extremely expensive. So Scutero, Mr. Clutch, a base hit to cash in Pagan. He takes second on the throw, and here's Pablo Sandoval. Sandoval is 0 for 3, popped up, grounded out twice. All 3 at bats were against Aaron Harang, and that's ball 1. So Kenley Jansen gives up a big hit. Shane Victorino makes a bigger throw. We have a 2-2 tie, and the Giants have a possible tiebreaker at second base. On deck, Buster Posey. That's a strike. 1-1. Sandoval batting .284, 12 home runs, 63 runs batted in. Scutero representing a tiebreaker. Fouled away. Pablo Sandoval, 5'11", at least 240, and yet he is a very quick, good third baseman, besides being a good hitter. Last year, 23 home runs, 70 runs batted in. This year, 12 home runs, 63 runs batted in. Bad ball. Dodgers get a big break as Pablo chases one, and that's the second out. Look where A.J. is set. That thing is way out of the strike zone. So that's another reason why Sandoval is not hitting the .318 that he hit last year. So a big out, but now an even bigger hitter. And Buster Posey checks in. Double in a run. Grounded out, struck out. 1-4-3. Scutero at second, and A.J. Ellis out to talk to Kenley Jansen. 2 runs, 5 hits for the Giants. 2 runs, 6 hits for the Dodgers. It's been Harang, Belisario, and Jansen. Pagan with his first hit of the night after just driving the Dodgers bananas the last time the Giants were here. And sure enough, when he does get his first hit, it's a double, and then Scutero drives him in to tie up the game. So we will see about the throw by Victorino. It was not cut off. It couldn't be cut off. That will be a strike. Down in the Dodger bullpen, Brandon League begins to loosen up. When the Dodgers hit in the bottom of the 8th, Ethier, Kemp, Gonzalez, and maybe Ramirez. 0-1 to Buster Posey. 0-2. That was 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Buster Posey is 1 for 3 in the past against Kenley Jansen. Little nubber. Jansen sets, throws on a bounce, and got him. Whoa. So the Giants get a run to tie. They leave Scutaro at second. And bottom of the 8th, a 2-2 tie. Kenley, who can throw 97, threw about 60 on a bounce, got away with it. Game, Angel Pagan will make his presence known. It took him to the 8th inning tonight, but he doubled to right and was cashed in to tie up the game on that usual clutch base hit by Marco Scutaro. Boy, remarkable. Remember, we told you he was hitting .388 with runners in scoring position, and he came up yet another clutch base hit. Kenley Jansen struggled, made 17 pitches. Ellie Whiteside is now taking over behind the plate for Buster Posey. So Whiteside will give the great young catcher some rest. Posey, of course, doubled in a run in the first inning. Dodgers now here in the 8th inning against Jeremy Affeldt, Ethier, Kemp, and Gonzalez. Andre Ethier lined out to short, hit a 2-run home run and fly deep to center. The fly ball to center was against Maharis. The home run with a man aboard against Matt Cain. Andre, however, as I'm sure you know, as good as he has been against right-handers, he's hitting only .218 against left-handers. Bottom of the 8th, 2-2. In a workout for the Giants and a must-win for the Dodgers. Fastball, little roller, Scutaro. So Ethier taps out, 1 down. Now Matt Kemp is the other way around. Ethier struggling against left-handers, but Matt Kemp fattening up on left-handers. Kemp hitting .378, and 11 of his 23 home runs have been hit against left-handers. This particular left-hander, Jeremy Affeldt, Kemp is 3 for 9. slow breaking ball for a strike. That came up there at 77. Matt struck out twice against Kemp, grounded out against Maharis. Bounced that pitch. 1-1. Jeremy Affeldt, in looking at his numbers, and I'm sure you're thinking about home runs. Well, Affeldt has allowed 1. That's it. 1 home run in 62 innings. Two, bottom of the 8th. Fastball, broken bat, little ground ball to Crawford, and gets him. So Kemp breaks his bat, rolls out, 2 down in the 8th, and Adrian Gonzalez will be coming up. Boy, that thing came apart. 3 pieces, Affeldt running for his life, and Crawford running for the ball. Adrian Gonzalez singled, grounded out, doubled, and was thrown out at the plate on a strong throw by Xavier Nady. That was back in the 6th inning. Gonzalez 5 for 19. No Dodger has a home run against Affeldt. On the corner, 0-1. Gonzalez batting .299. 3 home runs, 21 runs batted in. Fastball at 94, down and in. 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Got him. So a nice inning for Jeremy Affeldt. 1, 2, 3. And we are going to the 9th inning. Hence Belt and Blanco's spot right after this. Rearrange things. Shane Victorino, normally in left field, moves over to right field. Andre Ethier comes out. Elian Herrera takes over in left field, and Brandon League will take over on the mound. So it's been Harang, Belisario, Jansen, and League. And the outfield, Herrera, Kemp, and Victorino. So League, who has pitched so well and has done a wonderful job as closer of late. Kenley Jansen became the holder. And we'll see now about Brandon League. League picked up his 6th save, and he'll be facing Hunter Pence and then Brandon Belt, and then we will see about Affeldt in Nady's spot in the original lineup. For League, he's tossed scoreless relief 18 of his last 19 appearances. A strike. Hunter Pence struck out, hit back to the box, broke his bat, hit one off the glove of Belisario, and Mark Ellis threw him out. Fouled away. Shane Victorino has to have a very good memory to remember the last time he played right field. It was 2008. It's a little different. You might not think so at first, but it is. That ball going to be in play? The Dodgers think so. Jerry Lane now says no. So Hunter Pence 0-2. If you're in left field and a right-hand batter is hitting, there is a fraction of a second where you lose the bat and the ball. When you are in right field, the same thing with a left-handed batter. It's only a millisecond, but it means a lot. 0-2. That's the one break you get if you're the center fielder. You're looking straight in at the hitter at all times. So for Matt, he can read the ball coming off, but there is that fraction of a second, depending on right-hand hitter and which corner outfield spot you're playing. So down goes Pence. Strikeout for League. Second time that Pence has struck out. One down, Brandon Belt coming up. Brandon Belt walked, flied to center, single to right, stole a base. Oh, 0-1. Aubrey Huff comes out on deck. He would bat for Jeremy Affeldt. There's Aubrey. You haven't seen much of him all year. One ball and one strike. Brandon Belt 1 for 2, hitting .277. 7 home runs, 56 runs batted in. Fouled away, 1-2. If for some reason you were not near a radio or a television set, the Cardinals beat Cincinnati 4-2 earlier this evening. The number is 1. A Dodger loss or a Cardinal win, and it's over. 1-2. 2-2. When the Dodgers come up in the bottom of the ninth, Hanley Ramirez, Shane Victorino, and Luis Cruz. 2-2. A hopper, no, line drive, backhanded by Cruz. Just did get the leather on it before it hit the ground. So Belt is robbed of a hit, a sinking line drive. That close, and he stayed with it. 2 down. Aubrey Huff will now come up and bat for Jeremy Affeldt. Aubrey Huff, pretty much banged up this year, has had only 77 at-bats, hitting .182, 0-1 the count. Santiago Casilla, the hard-throwing right-hander, is warming up. Ground ball into right field. So Aubrey Huff, a 2-out single to right. And Brandon Crawford will be coming up. We'll have a runner a runner for Huff, and it will be Emmanuel Burris. So Aubrey off the bench and a single. Burris takes over, and Brandon Crawford checking in at the plate. Brandon Crawford flied to center, singled to center, and struck out. Crawford batting .249, 4 home runs, 45 runs batted in. You have to watch Emmanuel Burris with 2 out for sure. And sure enough, there he goes. Good throw. Got him. A.J. Ellis right on the money with a perfect throw. There was no surprise that Burris was going to go, and they got him by plenty. So we're heading to the bottom of the 9th inning in a 2-2 tie. The Dodgers were down 1-0 after the Giants got a run in the first inning. Posey doubled in Scudero. But in the 4th inning, Andre Ethier hit a 2-run home run, and the Dodgers held on to a 2-1 lead until the 8th inning, when Pagan doubled and came home on a single by Scudero. Locked in, we go to the 9th. It'll be Ramirez, Victorino, and Cruz against Santiago Casilla. Hanley Ramirez flied to center, grounded to short, was walked intentionally, and is just 1 for 6, but it was a home run against Casilla. And hitting after him, Shane Victorino. Casilla's from the Dominican Republic, throws exceptionally hard. He's 6 feet, 190, 32 years old. Originally signed by the A's, and ball 1 almost got Ramirez. 94-mile-an-hour fastball. At one time, he was known as Jairo Garcia, using the name of somebody else. Kids do that in the Dominican. It also meant he was actually 2.5 years, almost 3 years younger than he really is. They're going to check. And a swing. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, finally, they realized the mistake. Casilla aged 2 years and 10 months. This would be his 3rd year with the Giants. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ground ball up the middle. It's going to go through. to Hanley Ramirez, a ground ball single to center. The winning run is aboard with nobody out, and Shane Victorino coming up, getting ready to bat left-handed. Shane has grounded into a double play, doubled, and singled. It was Shane's single in the 6th inning. Dodgers tried to score Gonzalez from second base, and Xavier Nady threw him out. On deck, Luis Cruz, and the first thing is, will Victorino try to bunt? He shows bunt, throw to first. Victorino has sacrificed 8 times, so he's pretty handy with the bat. Bottom of the 9th, 2-2 tie. The bunt is down. Good bunt. The play has to go to first. And Ramirez, the winning run, is at second base. Luis Cruz followed by A.J. Ellis. We will see if they even pitch to young Cruz. That's up to Bruce Bochy. Cruz 0 for 3 tonight. Grounded to short, grounded to third, flied to center. Scudero in to talk to Casilla. Both of them teammates at Oakland. Slider at 92. Boy, that thing had a lot of late jump to it. 0-1. They say his slider's been clocked as high as 93, and after looking at that, I believe him. Fastball, slider, curveball, change. He's working on a splitter. 0-1. Fastball hit into left field, base hit. Up with the ball is Blanco, and they're going to hold Ramirez on a strong throw, cut off by Pablo Sandoval. And look at Cruz. Cruz asking the crowd to make a little more noise. Line drive, single to left field, a one-hopper. Blanco with a very good arm. So Wallach wisely held Hanley Ramirez. He'd have been out at the plate. So Cruz delivers, and now Bruce Bochy going to the mound. Cruz trying to do a little cheerleading. Elian Herrera hits behind A.J. Ellis. It is conceivable, only conceivable, first and third, they might even walk A.J. Ellis. After all, the Giants have nothing to lose anyway except a game. Casilla, who throws hard, has walked 21 and struck out 55, so about 2.5 to 1. And we'll see about Ellis now. Dodgers with the winning run 90 feet away, trying desperately to stay alive one day at a time. Infield halfway. Belt is up, however. A fake and a look. 2 runs, 8 hits for the Dodgers. 2 runs, 6 hits for the Giants. Bottom of the 9th. They bring up Blanco in left field. He was reasonably deep. And in this spot, no reason to be play Ellis where he was, so they brought him up about 10 feet. And ball 1. A.J. Ellis grounded to first, walked, and was hit by a pitch. Adam Kennedy, Andre Ethier, Clayton Kershaw, the whole Dodger club on the rail, and the same for the Giants. Of course, it's a much bigger game for the Dodgers. but it's Giants-Dodgers. Brandon Belt now comes all the way in on the grass. Sandoval is even with the bag at third. Thinking about squeeze. And ball 2. And Ramirez, a pretty good fake coming down the line from third. I'm not sure if that caught Casillas' eye, but they pretty good fake of squeeze that time. Two 2-0. We'll watch Ramirez. Not coming. Ball 3. Well, we thought earlier when Boshi was going to the mound that they might walk A.J. Ellis intentionally. Now let's see. I think, yep, they're going to put him on. It made more sense to take a chance against Herrera than Ellis. However, in doing this, it also puts a lot of pressure on Casillas. Now remember, Bobby Abreu's already been used, so Herrera is coming up. Herrera is hitting .245, hitting .233 left-handed. As a pinch hitter, however, he's 4 for 10. So the bases are loaded with 1 out. Ramirez, the big man, at third. Cruz at second. A.J. Ellis at first. The outfield looks like a softball outfield. Blanco is in very shallow left. Pagan very shallow center, and now they bring up Pence. So the ball game would appear to be on the line right now. 0-1. On deck, Mark Ellis. Casillas, as we mentioned, came up to the A's in 2004, and he was with them for about 7 years. So he and Mark Ellis had to be teammates. 0-1 to Herrera. 1 out, 9th inning, 2-2. And there's a line drive off the glove of Scutaro, and the Dodgers win it 3-2. Well, they're taking off his shirt, but at least they're not doing a dog pile, which makes a heck of a lot more sense. He'll be a lot cooler, too, and they give him a towel. A big hug from Matt Kemp. Well, what a game. A Giant-Dodger game. Don't miss it tomorrow night. We're running out of baseball, but we sure hope you'll be here. Scutaro just missed grabbing that line drive. That would have been a double play had he held on to it. Scutaro is listed at 5'10", and the Dodgers explode on the base hit by Herrera. So the Dodgers are alive, admittedly, barely. One of those things where you hold a mirror up against the lips to see if the body is still breathing. Well, attention in St. Louis, it is still breathing. 3 runs, 9 hits, and no errors for the Dodgers. For the Giants, 2 runs, 6 hits, and no errors. Where are you going to be tomorrow night? We sure hope you'll be here with Zito and Capuano on KCAL 9. We'll see you then. We wish you all a very pleasant good evening.
Thank you, Vince Scully. Don't be fooled by the jersey. This isn't Luis Cruz. This is Elian Herrera, and this is your game winner tonight. That is the see how you stood in there and took it with you? It's a team effort this time of year. That's your 4th game-winning effort of the year. You like coming up in that spot?
Oh yeah, you know, I just try to just every time they want me play, no matter what position or no matter how they want me to use, I just want to just do my job. It's great to do tonight and win the game. I just want to do the best I can and help my team.
Elian, I know you're kind of new to this whole thing, but 35,000 Dodger fans can back me up. When you win a game like that, it's a little bit better because it comes against the Giants. Aaron Harang would get involved at some point. Aaron Harang and the Super Soaker. Because it's the Giants, does it make it a little more fun?
Oh, yeah, especially in this moment of the season, we are fighting and we don't know what can happen. Then we just want to win the game. Every game we less, we just want to win.
160 games, and you're not out of it yet. Coming back tomorrow, how's it feel?
Oh, yeah, tomorrow is a new game. It's one-on-one, Tomorrow we just go and give it 100%, and especially for this fan, and just try to win.
Awesome, man. I appreciate the time. On your way and grab me a towel, will you? Elian Herrera with a game-winning hit tonight. Dodgers beat the Giants 3-2. We're coming back. Steve Lyons, Patrick O'Neill, Dodgers Live in center field.